Welcome back to More Cake. Guess One Badass Edible Art. I'm your girl Jelena, and today we're making, you asked for it, you wanted it, chocolate ganache from cocoa powder. Now I've linked the recipe down below. I've also linked where I got this recipe from. So shout out to, let me read the paper, Jessie Unicorn Moore on Instagram. So I went ahead and just did a little Google search really quick. I found her vlog on Pinterest because I was like, I've never made chocolate ganache with cocoa powder, so let me try it out. Before we jump into this video, go ahead and give me a follow, a like, and make sure you comment below what video you'd like to see me do next and what things you'd like to see me do with chocolate next, because it seems y'all really like chocolate. Let's get started. Now you want to get started with a pot and go ahead and add your heavy whipping cream. Now we're not looking for it to boil, we're looking for it to be a medium simmer, and basically what that is we want it to bubble around the edges of the pot. We don't want it to bubble in the center of the pot. Once it starts doing that, that's basically a boil, and now we're screwed. But we're trying to just get our heavy whipping cream nice and hot, so that way when we put it with our chocolate, that's really what turns chocolate into chocolate ganache. If I was to add heavy whipping cream cold to chocolate, you won't get that same consistency because it's just going to be lumpy. The warmthness melts down all your chocolate. Now mind you, we're not using chocolate melt, but it's still the same effect. We're using cocoa powder. Now Jessie over on her blog, she said she recommends that you sift your chocolate. And I'm just gonna tell y'all something that's probably gonna shock y'all. I don't own a sifter. I said it. I said it. I don't own a sifter. Hear me out. Hear me out. I had 3 sifters, and they were very old sifters that belonged to my great-grandmother, and then my grandmother, and then my mother, and then I took them when I left my mama's house because ain't nobody else was using them. And they were just really old. I mean, that's fine, but they just, you know, after a while they started to rust and just get old until we got rid of them. And now I don't own a sifter, which I probably should own a sifter, being that I bake on this channel. But a girl just don't be thinking about baking. I think about the artistry of cake, okay? But what I did is, because I'm so used to sometimes not sifting my ingredients, another little trick you can do is actually just grab a fork and stir that sucker around, okay? Because basically what you're trying to do is trying to get all the lumps out of it. But of course, you can save yourself so much time if you just get up and go get a sifter. But I was being lazy and it was too hot and I didn't want to leave my house. And once I did that, I went ahead and put my ingredients in a bowl and poured my hot, heavy whipping cream in that bowl with my cocoa powder. And then you want to go ahead and just grab all the other ingredients and combine it together. Your 1/4 cup granulated sugar, your 1/2 teaspoon of brewed coffee, and your 1/2 teaspoon vanilla. Now the brewed coffee and the vanilla, that is completely your choice. In actuality, let me back it up. The brewed coffee, the vanilla, and the sugar, that's your choice of the amount that you want to put in there. You can play around with those measurements, because the amount of sugar, it just depends on how sweet you want to make your ganache. And then also the brewed coffee acts as an enhancer to kind of enhance that chocolate flavor in there. You won't taste the coffee because since it's such a 1/2 teaspoon, but if you wanted more of that coffee flavor in there and wanted to really highlight the chocolate flavor even more, go ahead and add even more brewed coffee in there. And then the vanilla, again, that's just for flavor purposes. You don't even have to use vanilla. You know, orange extract is really good with chocolate, like chocolate and orange. I don't know if you guys ever had chocolate dipped orange slices. So good, so good. Those flavors go really well together. You know, so even raspberry goes really well with chocolate. So you can infuse your chocolate with whatever flavor you want to infuse it with. Once I had all of my ingredients in my bowl, I went ahead and whisked. I know this word, whisked. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I whisked my mixture all together until it was very well combined. Disclaimer for anybody who's like, well, there's still lumps while I'm whisking it. What you want to do is go ahead and grab yourself a spatula and mix that around and push down on your mixture, so that way it can push down any of the lumps that may be occurring in your mixture. Cover that in plastic wrap. Now the stage that it's at right now, it is entirely way too liquidy to be any type of drip, and it is way too liquidy to be any type of filling. Now, if you want to coax your cake, you go ahead and take your liquid and you can brush it on top of the cake. And what will happen is that liquid will seep down into a cake, and you want to do it when the cake is nice and warm so it's easier to seep in and let it sit. So delicious. But we're not doing that. We're creating chocolate ganache. We want it to be spreadable. So what I did was I let it sit out for about 2 hours. Okay, I let it sit out for 2 hours. It didn't get as thick as quick as when I make it with the chocolate melts, but it was thickening up. Okay, so I said, okay, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just stick this in the fridge, which is fine. I'm gonna stick this in the fridge for a good like 30 minutes or so and see what happens. And it worked. I sat it in the fridge and it thickened up just a little bit more, what became that peanut butter texture that we're looking for, where it's nice and easy and spreadable. And that's it. Thanks so much for joining me again for another video. I'm actually really excited that this one was about chocolate again, because experimenting is so much fun. Don't be afraid if you mess up, just try again. It makes, I didn't say how much it makes. It makes enough to coax and cover probably about an 8 or 9 inch cake, 1 layer, not a 2-layer situation, about 1 layer. So you definitely would have to double up your recipe if your cake is much more taller than a 1-layer cake. Other than that, I do appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel and hit that notification down below so that way you're notified every time I come out with a new masterpiece video. And then also hit that like button or hit the thumbs down button, whether or not, just to tell me what you thought about the video. And comment down below what you want to see me do with chocolate next. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.